Hey, it's your girl Gretchen. In today's conversation about narcissistic abuse, I'm taking a little bit of a departure. Over the weekend, I had a pop-up event and a woman came into my booth and she asked me how I got into what I do. So when I'm at a pop-up event, I'm mostly selling my crystals and crystal bracelets and manifestation kits, that kind of thing. So I responded and told her about my divorce and how that led to me getting into a tarot reading, and then that led to the crystals. It turns out she has a friend whose husband of 43 years just walked out on her, and the woman's comment to me was, "Oh, so I can tell her she'll get her smile back." And that just really struck me. So I wanted to touch a little bit more on my own diagnosis of depression, but I want to let you know that I'm a little uncomfortable doing this because I'm not a mental health professional. Narcissistic personality disorder is pretty straightforward. Obviously, it can look a little different from one person to the next, but the formula is pretty much the same. By posting something like this, I just don't want to come across like everybody who has been abused by a narcissist is going to react the way I did. That's not true. Someone who's diagnosed with severe situational depression isn't necessarily being abused by a narcissist. And somebody who feels like they might have severe situational depression may look different than I do when they've got it. So I just wanted to kind of start by putting that out there. So like I said, this woman had mentioned her friend getting her smile back. And the reason that that touched me so deeply is because I've always been like a lifelong smiler, and I thought everybody was. As it turns out, when you live your life always smiling at everybody, everywhere you go, everybody smiles back. So you live in this world where everybody's always smiling. I didn't realize that I was the one initiating it. So when my husband walked out on me, the reaction in my brain felt as if someone had slammed my brain against a wall and had damaged it, dented it, and jumbled it all up, and it just wasn't working right anymore. That led to my chemicals shutting off, is the way it works in me. And I'm sure there are other people that would describe it the same way if they have the same symptoms. And it took everything in me to get out of bed, take a shower, go to work, just get the stuff done that I needed to get done. And I just didn't have the energy to smile at people, which sounds strange, but that's how it felt for me. And because I wasn't initiating the smiling, nobody was smiling back. So I was already struggling so much, but then I'd also lost like the rest of the world smiling at me in the way that I was used to. So as I was going through my own journey after the initial most aggressive part of the abuse, I didn't have any chemical releases of oxytocin, serotonin, endorphins, like just nothing I did felt good. So, we all know the things that we enjoy and the things that we respond best to. And I was 41 at the time. I knew what those things were. So in an effort to feel better, I was out there trying to do it. I was having lunch with my friends. I was going to happy hour with my friends. I was going to the spa. I was going shopping. I was going out of town. I was engaging in casual encounters. I was doing the sorts of things that should feel good. I was spending time alone. I like doing that too. But nothing was releasing those chemicals that we all need to live. And I eventually was seeing a therapist and had described to her something that had happened. And she said, "You need to get on antidepressants," which broke my heart because I really don't have a good reaction to medicine. But I went to the doctor, and without a whole lot of conversation, they put me right on these antidepressants, and they did wreak havoc on my body. But I say it was like a week or so after I went on them, a couple of friends were doing something silly and I laughed at them, and I felt like this little like trickle of joy, and I was like, oh, that was the first time in 7 months I had anything that physically felt like happiness to just a very normal situation. And we have those countless times throughout the day. So going 7 months was a very dark feeling for me. So I was grateful that that medication helped me with that. And I stayed on it for a few months when I went through my divorce, and my therapist thought it was a good idea for my first birthday, Christmas, that kind of thing. And then we eventually tapered me off of them, which when I went to the doctor to get that permission, things went kind of sideways. I was pretty frustrated that they were so eager to pump me full of medication. But I did go off the medication and I did feel better. And then as I was starting to rebuild, the world kind of shut down and COVID isolated us all. So it was tough because I was just starting to build back up. And then of course we put the masks on and no one could see me smiling anymore. So I happened to be wearing these sunglasses when I was talking to this woman that I bought while we were masking, and they were kind of a cat eye. And I just felt like it still expressed a smile even if you couldn't see my mouth. And so I just kind of wanted to put that out there, that any type of trauma or abuse can definitely affect yourself physically in a way that your body is no longer emitting these chemicals to make you feel normal. So if for whatever reason you think you might be depressed or you've been diagnosed with depression, I know there are people out there that are like, go get a massage, go shopping, hang out with friends, watch a movie, pet your cats. And you can do those things and you can want that feeling, but that doesn't mean your body is going to push those chemicals out and give you that feeling that you're so desperate for. So I want to let you know that you're seen. And I want to be so bold, if you'll allow me, as to let you know that yes, your smile will return.